As we get back into the game here, one more game coming up for LG versus Eager. I mean, this is, as Hindu would say, this is a barn burner. This is absolutely, this is what we watch Smite for. And that was, it's interesting because I don't think you can say that that was Luminosity's game until Eager won that team fight. I think that was back and forth.
You know what I think is the craziest part about this first game from Eager and Luminosity is the fact that you already have the hype coming in just from the Noble game alone. I mean, that was a lot. Like, you can feel the atmosphere has changed in the studio alone, especially in that player room. All those guys are extremely hyped right now, and like Totally brought up, there is definitely a lot of tension coming out between these two teams, and it's honestly a pretty exhilarating experience.
They're neck and neck right now. With that win, this puts Luminosity at 7 points as well, being tied with Eager. So if Luminosity manage to win this, they'll be put at 9 points heading into day number 3 at first.
Here's the biggest point for me with Team Eager. I think that they have solidified themselves as one of the top teams, if not the top team, at least in North America. And the proof in the pudding for me has been the fact that they played something different last round. Everybody's kind of sitting here. The players are kind of whispering about it, going, all they can do is really play that one comp sustain. Well, they didn't have it. They still got the win.
And that's exactly what Luminosity are doing again. They banned the raw Sobek in game number 1. They're doing it again game number 2. They're feeling very confident now, taking that sustain comp away from them, as well as respecting the Sobek on Divios.
Yeah, the Sobek is too powerful a choice here, which is interesting because Luminosity also plays Sobek very well, but they're going to ban it instead of taking it themselves. And the Sobek, like you said, Divios has played it extremely well. Although last round when we saw with the Rat, Divios is down to play a lot of different things.
I thought the double assassin composition between BaRRaCCuDDa and the Ratatoskr was designed to shut down Scary D's Amaterasu. The whole goal between that is normally you have a double assassin comp, you're against a warrior that transitions very well in the mid to late game, shut her down, but that wasn't really the case. Although they did a good job of trying to invade, they never really transitioned it beyond the invade.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of disgusting seeing just how tanky Divios was on that Ratatoskr. I was not anticipating him to go just that tanky with it, but at the same time, it really worked out quite well with Eager's strat, and you could see that they were definitely going for something different. Pern has this excellent capability, and like the way that he's been getting in and taking objectives by himself has really been opening up the map for Eager, even in those situations where they're losing the team fight. Just the fact that he's going and taking a mid-Phoenix, it's alleviating a lot of the map pressure that is being applied to Eager during these lost team fights to LG.
And at the end of the day, I mean, the goal is to take down the Titan, right? Not win a team fight somewhere in the jungle. So by taking out that Phoenix, a big deal. So far, picks and bans, well, it's the same damn thing we saw in game number 1. It's deja vu all over again. Soul first picked, Rat and the Janus selected, and Luminosity trying to figure out what they want to go for 2 and 3.
The way we saw DJ play the BaRRaCCuDDa last game was very hit or miss. He'd made a lot of great plays with that mid-Phoenix, but at the same time, he made this one questionable play when he used the kitties on the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, which actually cost Eager a Fire Giant play. Luminosity saw the split push on the left-hand side, immediately, without any hesitation, went for the endgame objective.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a little bit more careful if he opts to bring out the BaRRaCCuDDa again in the second game. He probably won't be as reckless with dropping the BaRRaCCuDDa at all and letting LG, try and push heavily into those team-oriented objectives like the Gold Fury and the Fire Giant. But at the same time, I think it's really interesting that they're letting Eager get this Janus again. I personally wouldn't want to let Best play on that Janus. I would have opted probably to let the Sobek go through, if anything, because I feel like they have a much higher potential to shut down Divios on a Sobek than they do to just let them have something as mobile as a Ratatoskr that can really disrupt their backline.
Well, Luminosity are going to respond with the Athena pick. I think that's a smart choice. Janus is going to be able to traverse the map pretty much whenever he feels fit. Athena will be able to follow that, and that's going to be a good selection. Agni for Mr. X there in the middle lane, and this is... Honestly, the Agni has been a comfort pick for Xeno that hasn't really worked out. I think the composition is a little bit better, but I think as far as the improvements are concerned, Ram for Team Eager. The Freya, like I said, 0-3 until the very last team fight where he shut down BaRRaCCuDDa. Outside of that, I think the Freya was fantastic previously, but not so much against Luminosity. I think LG knows how to shut down Freya better than some of the other teams. So the Rom selection, I'm a big fan of it, and I think that should help out Team Eager in general.
Thor being locked in for Mask is a great pickup. I like this composition out of Luminosity. They have the CC, Athena, Agni, Thor. They have the team fight between Sol and Amaterasu. This is a very well-fined, balanced composition coming out of Luminosity.
I completely agree. Just judging from the draft right now, Eager has yet to select their support. Unless we see Raven's support, which I don't know just yet. But Eager have yet to select their support. But looking at the draft right now, I got to lean towards LG. I'm really liking what they have. They have a lot of options to cover what Janus is going to bring as far as the global is concerned with both Athena and Thor. And then Amaterasu on the scary D. I just like what LG is going to have. Team Eager is going to go with the Sylvanus.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy to see that Sylvanus coming out, considering that Luminosity banned it last game. Sylvanus is definitely a support that doesn't tend to receive a whole lot of affection or love, and I think that Sylvanus is actually a pretty solid pick, considering that it plays pretty well into Eager's sustain comp, and I think it'll be really interesting seeing a player like Aror with such an aggressive playstyle get to toy around with this.
Should be pretty interesting. Team Eager, they've gone the Tree Man. Is Sylvanus the difference that Eager need, or will this draft by LG be what they need to split it down the middle? We'll bring it to the casters to bring us the final game here on Saturday.
Well, Aggro, completely different situation to game one here. We're not going to see the Bastet and the Divios solo with the Ratatoskr. We've got a bit of a different situation here, a bit more sustain on Eager, and a bit more standard between both teams.
Should be less split push this game. Should be.
Should
but
be.
We saw actually Luminosity ban away a lot of that sustain last time. Sylvanus was one of the bans that they used. This time it is going to be going to Auror's hands, and if he can survive the initial Athena taunt, that's the big question. If we see Jeff dash in, use that taunt, and they blow up Aror, the fight's probably going in Luminosity's favor. However, if he can survive long enough to get that Wrath of Terra, knock up Athena and whoever comes in to help follow up on that taunt, as well as get the whiffs on his teammates and himself, that's an easy team fight win for Eager. Aror is going to be the key here in this game.
A big game for both these two teams. Luminosity really need a point out of this. They really do. Allegiance as well will be happy if Luminosity can take a point here, just because Eager win this game, Eager are guaranteed to go through.
That's true, but I talked to Incon in the hallway, and he said he's rooting for Eager here.
Oh, really?
He wants the opportunity to go up against Luminosity and get the 2-0 and just straight up against LG. They must be feeling confident in that particular matchup. So, you know, you could, if you're an ALG fan, either one is probably okay. But Incon wants the Eager victory.
So if anyone's watching the Divios meta at home, it is a Wrath start, and look where he is right now.
Look at his face, man. He's just giggling.
Sneaky.
He's so excited.
But the problem is, what he doesn't know, and he's in an awkward position because this, he's going to have to back. Scary D's got a Wrath as well.
That is going to be really awkward.
What are you going to do now, Divios?
He does have a ward that Scary D should be on right now, but
yes,
he's waiting on he's relying on the element of surprise, I think. And we'll have to see if Scary D would have been willing to use this on the initial speed buff, or if he wanted to use it on blue.
I mean, they've seen him now on djpernicus around the other side, and Mass is getting pinched. Mass is in an awkward spot here, but a lot of pressure onto Divios, actually. He took a lot of free poke from this. So did Masked as well. Masked is the one in raw trouble, I want to say, just because he's not a warrior. The assassin is coming into it, and once again, no one's getting a buff.
What a man fight in this jungle solo. Both games just perfectly okay with dancing, but this time Eager doesn't smell it out as easily. This time you don't see Aurora getting those left-hand mid-harpies and then coming in to help. So it's going to be a different sort of dynamic.
This time around, the speed buff going to be taken by Luminosity here. The Wrath is still available for Scary D. However, lane pressure favoring Eager here. They could still look for the blue if they wanted, but instead they're going to retreat to their own half and get fire elementals.
This is a big win for Eager. Not only does, I mean, Mast and Scary just stood there and took the speed buff while everyone else on their team was farming, on the other team was farming. That time, it looks like the mid-harpies may have gone the way. Oh, they split?
I felt that one was a split there. I think BaRRa got one, and we saw Aror and Zap pick up one as well. I want to say that. That's what it kind of felt like to me. Best, however, though, will take the ones on the right. So even if they did go to LG or whatever, it's at least even.
It's actually better for Eager because Best was able to solo those right-hand mid-harpies as well as get those fire elementals. So Eager in a very good spot yet again to start out this game.
Good taunt. Stellar Burst doesn't hit both, only hits onto Zap, and Jeff took a little bit more poke thanks to the pull from Aror there. But you saw what Zap and Aror wanted to do. Freeze the wave, bring in the Athena and Sol early, and meanwhile Scary D is meeting djpernicus, who is now stunning him in the lane.
Scary just took that, man. He just didn't have any fear, and he hadn't even leveled up his dash, and was still standing in front of that wave with both of them there. Scary playing with fire here in the second game against Eager.
But he's got his blue buff, so it's okay, and he's going to get some free farm on this right-hand side here. Meanwhile, Eager will return to their own jungle now. Blue buff already taken for Divios, and now the speed for djpernicus.
Finally, the speed falling down for DJ, but this opens up an opportunity to invade that speed buff on the respawn for LG because DJ won't have to worry about picking up his own speed. The staggered buff dropping definitely favors the team that wants to be aggressive on the other team.
But it's not just one buff that's staggered either. Every single one of those buffs on that right-hand side is on a staggered different timer. A team that can recognize that and abuse that situation can come up absolutely massive on every rotation.
And to me, that screams what Eager wants to do. Eager is, to me, the cerebral team more so than any other team in either region. If Eager can, like you mentioned, get all 4 buffs on that right-hand side and not lose anything for it, that would put them extremely far ahead.
BaRRa versus Zap game 1. We mentioned Zap did nothing until the last double kill that he got and the game was over. Well, this time round, he's gone with a Rama. He wants to go for a bit more of an aggressive situation here. He didn't feel the fray of this game, it seems.
I don't blame him. He didn't, like you said, he didn't do anything until the very late stage of the game, whereas BaRRaCCuDDa had a massive impact on this Soul. BaRRa wants to be able to box in lane. He wants to be able to fight you. And so going for this Ram is going to let Zap fight into that a little bit better.
Guess it's also down to the team composition as well. In terms of physical, magical, as well as a different balance potentially there for them. Best going to get his red buff here. Zapman here to soak with djpernicus as well. And Best is quite comfortable once again going for the defensive option. A little bit worried about Masked here.
We'll have to see if he wants to finish that before his boots like he did last game, but he's been basically doing it all tournament, so that's what I expect for him to do. And speaking of item builds on mid laners, this time Xeno. We saw it go up against Ra, and he built Bancroft's Talon whenever he had a soul on his team. Pythags is 10 times better than Bancroft's in this situation, and Divine Ruin is 10 times better than that. You're going up against Sustain. It is time to build it. Agni is one of the best gods to get Divine Ruin on because it's so easy to apply it over and over and over again from a safe distance onto Aror.
Well, into the sky goes Mast, and the ult is being channeled too there from Athena, but they're not going to be able to find the Best in time. His reaction time was just too good there with the through space and time to get away.
2 ultimates for 1 ultimate and a purification, and that's definitely worth it. Oh, it looks like Aror used his shell there as well, so 2
good
actives,
shell.
Very good
2
shell.
actives, an ultimate for 2 ultimates.
Win for Luminosity, and that was great synergy there between Mast and JeffHindla. Perfectly timed on those ultimates.
Well, we talk about staggered buffs. The first one has spawned, and it's blue buff for Luminosity, and blue buff for Luminosity they will get.
And Mast already picked up his speed as well, so Mast in a good spot despite that awful start for them. He's the one with the slight experience lead. DJ just hit level 7, and Mast has been there for a little bit.
Meanwhile, JeffHindla playing the Athena this game as well, and when we look at the supports, I like what Aror did here. Went for the Talaria. One of the issues Sylvanus always has is mobility, getting caught out of position. Well, the mobility of those boots will help out a little bit when you're out of combat.
I think that I would have preferred Reinforced Greaves on him, though, because you know he's going to be the target with the amount of sustain that he can push out, and being so immobile, like you mentioned, and having that CCR reduction, having that extra, you know, a little bit less time that you're spent taunted or bomb stunned or wall stunned or dunked by Thor, anything like that. Plus, if they're going to be investing a lot of abilities in you, you know that passive from the boots is going to be stacked. From the Reinforced Greaves is going to give you those extra protections. A little bit risky going for the Talaria here.
Divios on something even more aggressive in this line. Obviously, Assassin pretty useful early on, but then can't really box against the Amaterasu later in the game, as Amaterasu does hit those at higher levels.
And he's doing exactly what you want him to do. A level up, about 200 gold, Scary D's underneath his tower, and that's what you want, especially with Scary going for this Wrath instead of the teleport, keeping him under tower and making sure he's not going to be able to rotate in to fights easily.
Meanwhile, left-hand side, the bomb does fall down there, as did the Supernova coming out. djpernicus did manage to get away from that, but it did cost him his purification in the jungle.
160 seconds. At high-level play, a lot of high-level play is baiting relics. It is a huge part of the game. Knowing your timers, knowing when they're coming back up for the other team, knowing when your relics are down and playing around that, It's a huge part of competitive Smite, and LG's doing a great job of abusing the cooldowns on Eager's
And LG really fancy the Gold Fury off the back of that too. They're going to go in and commit heavily. The bombs are raining, and it's already down. Aror, though, with the support of Zapman and now DJ in the sky, looking to turn this around, and he's on Scary D.
Oh, he blocked him off, and it's going to be DJ who gets the first blood onto Scary D.
Masked.
I actually think Scary was on the other side of that wall, but the through space and time was perfect from Best.
And it killed him as well. First blood goes the way. Taunt from Jeff, though, and dashes away to make sure his team can survive as well there, as the buff was looked at and stolen, I believe, by the boys of Eager as well. They're looking to answer back with a tier 1 tower.
And here's the power of Sylvanus, giving his team that sustain. They get poked out during that fight, and look, they're all full health right now. Those wisps, so impactful.
And
in
into the
game.
sky goes Mast again. Athena ult challenge, who's going to come down soon, and he comes in good. The dunk hits, and they're looking at Aror. Aror may look to try and get away from this if he can with the sustain. Mast forced out, but however, in the jungle, Jeff is in trouble here. DJ's trying to clean him up, but he's very low on mana. Best comes back in. Unstable Vortex connects, but DJ goes down in trade because BaRRaCCuDDa has rotated.
Rom split pushing this entire time on that left-hand side, and Jeff is totally okay with trading his own life for the enemy jungler. Scary D getting traded out pretty heavily here by Divios, but good job staying there by Zapman. Staying in lane, I just want to push, get that extra farm, and get that extra damage on that tower. This is going to be yet another wave that BaRRa loses to the tower. That's 2.
Very good situation for the boys of Eager, I want to say here, but even though they lost the Gold Fury, they still have a gold lead in this game. No towers down. They're just farming more superior.
Again, it's Eager playing chess. They're just fine, you took gold, what can we get off that? You force them to come in mid. You force the ultimates on the right-hand side. Yes, Aror does fall, but look at how much time it took for him to die. He was alive forever. And the bad news for LG is that Aurora is only getting tankier. It's not going to get any easier to kill him.
We can also see the fact that Aurora's holding the way for his team, for all 3 of them, the 3 core of the team, to be together to share the experience and the gold as well, making sure they can keep ticking it along. 8.5 minutes in, 2-1, 1 Gold Fury the way of LG.
The experience lead definitely in Eager's favor right now. Almost every lane has a lead. Taunt coming out onto Aurora, bomb stun, wall stun. Didn't need to happen that quickly. It should have been wall and then bomb, because you have enough time to execute that. Or you can go bomb then wall, but coming out at the same time is just completely inefficient.
Well, Fire Elementals are about to respawn here, and LG invested quite a bit with those bombs there. Xeno's only got 1 available. Gonna drop it down, look to steal away. I think he got 2.
That's fine. Trading out one of those low cooldown bombs for 2 Fire Elementals. It's a win-win. Not only do you deny it from DJ and the rest of Eager, but you get it in your own pocket instead.
Well, now the pressure, LG in the mid lane. Obviously, Jeff looking for taunts wherever he can, but the root was good on Mast there, and Mast throwing out the hammer there. Not going to be punished for it as the pull from Aror off the Mark II. Both teams looking for a fight.
Couple missed abilities there, and if those had connected, LG would have been the one in trouble. The pull from Aror would have put Jeff in a terrible spot. Mast, pretty risky throwing out his hammer right in front of a Sylvanus with pull, though. I
like what Divios just did. He's got a 2-level lead, got his relic online, which is teleport, by the way, but doesn't use it. He's looking to abuse that later on, knowing that Scary is 2 levels down still, and it is 2 levels because he's still not level 11. He's able to walk back to the lane still, and then farm up, knowing he's got this teleport to go to the other lanes.
You want to keep the opposing solo laner in lane, and then just push them under, and then be the first one to rotate in with that teleport.
So do we expect Eager to look for a fight very soon then somewhere?
I absolutely would. It's going to be tough, though, because what do you go on?
Talk about that. Mast in the sky right now, looking for something. It's going to be mid lane, and it's on Aurora again. The portal from Best will slow them down, but Mast takes a lot of dot damage there. Jumps to his hammer, but his hammer is where DJ was. DJ's dotted by the Agni damage, and the Best snipes out Mast. 1 for 1. Junglers are down.
But on each side there, some big ultimates, but mostly the dash there from Xeno doing so much damage to DJ. Even once he got up into that ultimate, Mask now 0, 1, and 2, but that's DJ's second death.
Divios looking at stealing away the speed against 3 is a little bit too much, I want to say here, especially with Scary D having that Wrath available for him, so he'll fall back to laning once more.
I mean, Divios did out-Wrath Incon in that game. That's where he, I believe it was Aurora yelled at him.
Incon will hate you for bringing that up.
Oh, dude, I mean, I'm just saying, it happened. It's not my fault.
Now Divios with the level lead, still the 2-level lead, I should say, he's still looking towards the speed buff where Xeno's now started up. Mast is on his way back after dying last time round. Has hi-rez completed here as well. And looks like he's going for a winged blade next as well.
Doesn't want to get slowed, and they've got a good amount of them on Eager. You've got the Prana Onslaught, Ratatoskr slows with his dash, you've got Rama with the autos, and then Threshold from Janus as well. I like the pickup here.
I really feel Divios might start to dictate the meta for solo lane again here. These Wrath starts, the other solo laners have adapted to him. They're starting to do it too. Scary D this game, Walrus in games before as well. Is it just going to be against Divios that people do this though, or is this going to be a new meta?
I mean, it could be. Divios, I believe, set the initial Wrath solo meta way back in the day.
Yeah.
And so
the triple Wrath meta that was wall in mid lane will connect, and TheBest takes a lot of poke, but Sanctuary, because he's level 13 now, comes into play and keeps him alive. But now both the relics for TheBest are down.
And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Using your relics and baiting out the other teams. Now they've got a 55-second window where Best is a sitting duck.
Well, let's listen to Luminosity at the Gold Fury.
Still
I'm TPing to go.
Still vault down. Still no ult. I'm Careful, Robin.
They will launch. That's Rama. Rama's on hit.
Rama's one hit.
They're really low.
Rama's one hit.
Nice. Ram really low.
Rama's one hit.
Ram dash. I'm coming back.
Can you get that scary now? Okay, you're by yourself, Scary. Just try and lead.
They're gonna go.
That's alright.
Hey, Rom's one hit, guys.
And what happens when Rom's one hit? The boys of Eager peel so well for Zapman. Aror, that pull was huge. On top of that, the rest of his team able to collapse and destroy the rest of Luminosity. The dive for Rom was just too much.
So we talked earlier today about how Noble should be a little bit more cohesive.
Yes.
In that fight, Luminosity should have been a little less cohesive. They grouped up. Best hit it, or DJ hit a huge ult. Best hit multiple with his ult. Zap even hit multiple people with the Rom snipes. That's when you know you're too close together.
And it was in that narrow corridor near the left, and Harpies too. When you're against something like the Sylvanus with that knockup, Divios with that big, sorry, not Divios, djpernicus this game, with that big Ratatoskr ult that can knock up as well. It's a rough situation for LG, and I actually think I heard Mass prematurely go, nice! And he's like, oh no, wait, that was Zapman who got the kill. Oh no, what's going on?
I mean, BaRRa had a couple really nice stellar bursts there, eventually did get out alive. BaRRaCCuDDa somehow always seems to get out with 1 HP.
I don't know how he's doing that just lately. He's one of the lowest dying hunters in the SPL of both NA and EU as well. But at the same time, Eager come out on top. It's about a 4,000 gold lead for them now, just under 7-3, 1 goal for each.
And that's a significant lead at this stage of the game. Before 14 minutes to have almost a 4,000 gold lead. And the experience as well, over 6,000. Zap and BaRRa are even, but you see Aror 2 levels up. Best is 3 levels up on Xeno right now. And then you've got Divios up 2 levels as well. Xenotronics' farm this entire LAN has been lacking.
Jeff in mid lane, going to dash in there. Was looking for a cheeky top, but not going to find it. But yeah, you're correct. I mean, Xeno's been a little bit off the mark this tournament from what we've seen of him before.
I mean, Scary D was kind of the focus on, you know, how is he going to react to LAN and how he had that really, really rough game against Noble. But overall, he's bounced back for the most part and played okay. Probably not where Luminosity wanted him to be playing, but not awful. Xeno has just been consistently a little bit under the bar. He's had some great plays, some great follow-ups, but a lot of Raijin picks just hasn't seemed to work out.
His Agni has been better than his Raijin, I want to say, though,
I would agree with
that.
I would definitely agree with that, but still, this game a little bit lacking on the farm, but the damage is going to start to get there as the game goes later and later. But again, the Bancrofts, I'm tilted. I'm officially on tilt. The Bancrofts, why? You got a soul, you have a Pythags, you're only losing 10 power outside of the passive from Bancrofts, but you get CDR, and you give soul, and you give your Athena 30 power and magical lifesteal for the same cost.
All right, Devil's Advocate one more time. That's my job as usual when you guys all go in. But the difference is the fact that he is behind, right? He needs to survive. He is behind and gain some damage online, and also having a bit more survivability. Is that not wise?
You get more survivability with Pythags because it's just like the same amount of lifesteal basically, and you get CDR instead of an extra 10 power. Plus, however, you know, whenever you get low as Bancrofts, you get extra power as well. But, or Divine Ruin. We talked about it earlier. It's so good on Agni. You're the same level as Aror. Those heals are maxed. They are doing tons and tons for the team fight of Eager. You saw how low Zapman got, and then he's able to stick around and pull the Gold Fury because of the Wisps exclusively. instead of going for the Divine, instead of going for the Pythags, this is the second time that Xeno's gone Bancrofts, and it was the wrong call.
Well, the best here is now level 16 in the mid lane. As we said, 3-level lead over Xenotronics, and he's gone for the Soul Reaver again. He likes this power spike. Some people don't really like this, though.
He's the only one who likes it, as far as I know. He seems to be the only mid laner who's building it third item. I mean, you see a lot of mid laners not even build it at all. It used to be a 5th or 6th, you know, I just want to kill someone late game sort of item, but Best just trusts himself to hit these snipes, follow it up off the CC, and be able to burst someone with his unstable vortex.
Well, 6.5 minutes in this game, and djpernicus on the Ratatoskr not making as much of an impact this game as he was last game, but same can be said for Masked as well.
Both junglers being held down a little bit more, and DJ was the one who made the huge impact last game with the split pushing and the damage of the team fights near the top. This time, near the middle of the pack, Masked a little bit ahead of him, getting good poke off with that double tap and wall combination, but against the sustain from Aror, it isn't as impactful.
Still, Divios 2 levels up on ScaryD, hasn't lost anything extra in that lane whatsoever. Continued the pressure over and over again onto Scary, and now you're looking at it yourself there. Aggro pointed out, Transcendence is being worked on by Divios.
Popularized by the young man Xaylia in the solo lane in Europe. On Chalk, right? But
and then we saw Tyr from Chapo and a few others started doing it on Tier 2, but on a Ravana?
He just wants to push the lead, but again, I probably would have rather seen him go Frostbound Hammer here. I think that would have been the stronger call, but Divios just wants to be swinging with that Prana Onslaught, man.
And maybe he'll upset a few people because they won't recognize how much damage he's doing, expecting him to go full tank. You got to check people's builds in these games.
Especially against Eager, because they do some weird stuff, man.
Well, the Gold Fury has just started circling, which is the sign that it's about to come back up. Luminosity once again are in position to look for the same thing they did in the first Gold Fury, burn some relics and then take it. The same thing they wanted to do at the second Gold Fury, burn some relics, but then they had a bad fight.
And it was just, they can't group up like they did last time. But looking at the items again, no Brawlers from Masked. Brawlers would have been perfect here. You apply the debuff on the healing from your double
tap. Do you reckon it should have been Brawlers right now?
Yes.
This item should have been what is
the healing from Aror is already very impactful. He's level 14. He's got a ton of items online.
It's not that impactful. What are you talking about, Aggro? It's 2.7k.
Okay, how many people are right around 3,000 damage on LG? That's basically cutting almost all of Agni's damage.
Stop making
right
sense.
Now. It makes.
Stop
I'm sorry.
making sense.
Here's the thing with reduced healing items like Divine Ruin and like Brawler's Beatstick. If you wait to build them until their healing is very impactful, you're already too late because you're going to lose the crucial team fight, and then oh man, I need a Brawler's, and it's going to be too late for you. You need to build it before the healing starts to really swing the tide of the game.
Taunt in mid lane onto DJ, who just walks away from it, and instead it's Jeff that eats more poke because of the heal coming out. Now Jeff's in trouble, knocked up as well. Zapman's there looking for JeffHindla a little bit more, but the shell comes out too. BaRRa makes a rotation, best space and time, it's 2, forcing Mass back as well. The group up from Eager is good, as ScaryD makes the rotation as well. Eager win the fight.
But Eager's just okay with setting back and healing up with that Aror Wisps, and now they're going to be looking at the Gold Fury. Wrath is available for both ScaryD and Divios, and that's because they see ScaryD is still around. They don't want to give Luminosity a chance to get back into this game.
Meanwhile, Tier 1 tower on the right-hand side is about to die in favor of Eager there. It does fall off the map. Divios gets that as well. Let's have a listen to Eager comms as they do the Gold Fury.
There's a taunt. Doors. I'm ulting. Divios. Nice. He's in his death. Good job. Doors here. Help me. That's Amma. I'm about best. Trying to get I'm on BaRRa. Embedded it. Nice. BaRRa Aegis. You know, anyone that can. I got one. Look at Amma. Rudiger. I'm one hit, careful. Damn. Just go bolt. I'm back in keeping in. Yeah, back in. I'm mobile too. Okay, heal in 3. Pretty sure she has hog. Yeah, my hog's down. His hog's up. We have to get out then. We should reset if his hog's down. Can we fight? I think so. Yeah. Okay. Let me tank her. Okay. Still risky, by the way. Get off it, yeah. Reset, man. Reset. I mean, if they have hog, we don't. Why were you risking? Yeah.
So a great fight for Eager there. You saw what happened, Aggro, but the biggest thing there is Eager didn't notice the Wrath was down on ScaryD. If they would have known that, they would have committed.
Miscall there overall from Divios, I believe, saying his hog is up, mine is down.
It's better to be safe than sorry, though, right? We've seen teams who ignore that before, but meanwhile, mid, BaRRa's back, still a burst, hits 3, space and time channel, and they're all dipping out. Eager say peace.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye. We'll see you later.
Well, maybe they did, but now look what happened. Power play for Luminosity at the Gold Fury here. Ward placed down, Mass leading them in, and this is an opportunity.
And again, they think Scary D's wrath is up, so Eager might give this up without knowing that LG has nothing to
from
secure.
Jeff. Mass looking for Zapman, and Zapman actually trading out and uses Sanctuary too. Zap wants JeffHindla, and meanwhile Divios has to be all out of, but he's still going to go down to Xenotronics. Let's listen to Luminosity on this team fight.
Come on, I shot.
We got there.
Help him there.
I'm telling them off. Nice.
Robin set up at care. My ult's up in 10. We have Rat middle. My ult's up in 10.
Are you looking to fight? I only have one bot.
My ult's up in 5.
Do we have hog?
My ult's up in 4.
They're giving it up.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yo, you guys see Rat? Rat's still over here. He's gonna steal your shit.
So the conversation about Wrath was all there from both teams. You actually saw them take out Divios. Divios dying allowed LG to go for that there.
Exactly, and with Eager still thinking that Scary D had wrath,
They gave it up.
They gave it up, and that was an opportunity to fight into it for Eager, but at the end of the day, Eager's still up about 4,000 gold right now. They're still sitting pretty in this game.
Now, for you fans at home as well, remember, they don't get the benefit of seeing all the relic timers of the enemy team the whole time here. Eager is a very small thing that to think the Wrath was up, but it's very impactful.
It changes the entire course of the game, and I talked about it earlier in competitive Smite. Knowing the cooldown of both your relics and your opponent's relics is extremely important. And there's a little bit of miscommunication, some misinformation, and it costs Eager a little bit.
It costs them the gold fury, but they're still in the gold lead in this game. So around 4,000 gold in favor of Eager. The tier 1 time the left-hand side did fall down in favor of Eager as well there. So map advantage is actually in Eager's favor still as well.
Without a doubt, Eager's still in the driver's seat in this game, and it's all because Best is huge. 4-0 and 4. He's got 4 items online. He's got a full Soul Reaver over the top of Xeno right now, and that is absolutely massive. Sitting 3 levels up, he is getting to the point where he can one-shot someone with his snipe.
And we were talking about 30 minutes in the game for that to really happen, but it could happen a little bit earlier, especially with a Soul Reaver as well. Just add it in.
It's going to take him about 8 minutes or so to farm up to that Rod of Tahuti, depending on how much gold he has in hand. It's going to be a little bit before he can truly one-shot someone, but eventually it's coming sooner rather than later for Eager.
Now LG, though, have done a very good job so far as we watch them actually going in on Divios here, who's under pressure from Mast as well. No ultimates used on that engagement, it's just a rotation.
Here's an ultimate used. DJ gonna smash down, force a lot of damage onto Mast, but that's the end of that. Best off the mark with that ult. He wasn't sure if he wanted to use it to peel, if they were chasing, or if he wanted to use it to help DJ dunk in. Miscommunication there from Eager means 2 wasted ults.
Oh, DJ gonna get caught in the jungle there. That stun did connect. Unfortunately, not much damage with it, but it still worked and did its usefulness. I love what BaRRa did, though. BaRRa rotated quicker than Zap, pressured the mid-wave tower, and forced Zapman to rotate as well to keep him busy and make sure that neither of them could leave the mid lane.
So we've talked a lot about the lack of damage or healing reduction. Hold that thought, actually. Mass up in the sky wants to go in the middle lane here, but it looks like Eager heard him. They're just gonna back up.
They actually went for DJ there on the left-hand side. He rotated there to pick up the farm, but LG gonna group up, and Aror's just walking at them. He wants a big ult because he's got Divios around the side. Scary goes in very deep to the back line and has to disengage. Took a lot of free poke from the tower there as well, and LG, just by Aror walking forward, got pushed back.
And then all the pokes that they did completely nullified by the heals from Aror. So like I was about to say, we've talked a lot about the lack of healing defense up against Aror.
Taught on 1, it's only on Aror though. He can weather the storm of those bombs coming down. They're not doing too much.
I just want to talk about the lack of healing items, guys. Can we stop fighting for a minute?
Not right now. Aror's going in. He pulls Jeff. Jeff rooted in place as well. Good knock-up hitting 4 members of the team with Aror's ultimate, but Aror's still in trouble here. Has to meditate. Body blocked to death by Scary D as well. Still alive as Aror though. Zapman's getting lower instead of Aror now. Forced the Sanctuary away. BaRRaCCuDDa's had to disapparate too.
Best
and
snipe.
waiting round the back is the whole team of Eager.
Now BaRRa gonna have to get underneath this tier 1 tower. Divios is gonna be the first one to fall in this fight. DJ are on the right-hand side. He's gonna have to disengage. An elongated fight goes the way of Luminosity despite the heals from Aror.
Everybody helps out Aror, and by doing that, they overcommit themselves, and now it's LG getting what they're after, which is the tier 1 tower in mid lane. The team may consider marching on. It's a bit risky if they do. Instead, I don't know, they can't decide themselves, it seems.
Every buff is up right now for Eager, and Luminosity could definitely take the safe route and just go and take those away. Take the speed away from DJ or take the red away from Best.
Well,
Instead,
DJ thinks the speed is very important for himself here. The minion wave coming in. Best is here to defend with Zapman. The taunt will hit hit best. He can't get to a wall. Silenced as well, forced to purify away. Mass in the back goes on Aror, and Aror's going to get hit by Scary D with the full channeled ultimate. Zapman, meanwhile, has very little relics left to get away. Jeff's not going to give chase to him. Now they will. The whole boys want him, but instead, everyone gets out for now until Zap meets Scary D.
They're all so low. Zap trying to trade out, but Mass going to hit him with the raw double tap in the middle lane. Also, the tier 2 tower falls. Luminosity, all of a sudden, despite getting that Gold Fury, they were down about 4,000 gold. Fast forward a couple minutes, they're right in this game. Gold lead is dead even.
So where does that come back to? This whole fight in the mid lane was like Aror getting pinched and picked off?
The inch and a half that Best missed the snipe by.
Is that all it was?
That's all it was. If he's able to pick off BaRRa with that snipe, it's a whole different fight. Instead, BaRRa's able to live, turn around, smack Divios with the Stellar Burst.
One
and because
inch.
Divios has like no magical protection, it's only from Hide of the Urchin right now, BaRRa's swinging for a lot.
1 inch is the difference between winning and losing. Is that what you're telling me right now? Is this how close this game is?
That's the life of a mid lane mage. It is that close. If you miss your ultimate by that much, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and it doesn't do a whole lot for you when you miss your ultimate by an inch. Like I said, BaRRa able to live, turn around, get the kill onto Divios.
Well, the face it play comparison, you can see how close these two supports are for what they do for their teams. Jeff leading from the forefront here, going to taunt Aror, and now the fight is underway. Forced out is Divios, and it's Aror isolated again. In the sky is djpernicus looking to support, going to hit the backline. Aror is still alive, and now, once again, Mass is in the sky. Meanwhile, we're on the right-hand side, they're looking at DJ. DJ helps out Aror, and another member of TheBest.
How does Aror always survive with 1
teammates
HP? But his teammates don't. Exactly. DJ coming in to bail him out. I guess they don't need the magical, the healing reduction, rather.
And now Divios is the next one, and he takes a lot of poke. Zapman trying to deal damage at the back line. Eager just looking to defend here, make sure they don't get the Fire Giant for free. On the way
Zap
back
has
is
all.
Aror. Divios and TheBest are both very low here as well. They're going to concede it because they know there is a Wrath available for Scary D and not one for Divios.
Surprised to see Zap didn't go for it at all, though. I mean, where is he going to use that ult in the next 90 seconds? I mean, yes, he could use it to try and buy himself some time or pick up a kill off of LG's push, but I think I would have rather seen him try and go for it, but I'm just a sucker for some big play Zapman.
Even game. I say that until this tier 1 tower falls, and that'll be slightly in favor in terms of gold to Luminosity here. But with the Fire Giant on their side as well, and the last couple of engagements go in the way of LG, this has worked out well for them. I love what Eager are doing here, though.
Definitely classic Eager. Chess. If you're going to go on this right side of the map while you have Fire Giant, yes, you have the advantage, but right now we've got a 15-second window where you won't be close enough to defend against the Gold Fury, keeping themselves afloat right now. Pushes them about 1,000 gold in the lead. That's not going to be standing for long, though. LG's going to be making a big push here with this Fire Giant.
So the last 2 times we've seen LG fight, and we talk about Aror, he didn't actually die in any of these engagements, but him getting poked out so low and his team coming to save him and rescue him from that situation actually put their team as a whole in a worse situation, which ended up LG winning the fight.
And that's really high-level Smite, using teammates to bait one another. You use just enough on one of them to suck everyone else forward. It's like a invisible Athena taunt.
Or Hades ult.
Exactly. Come help out your support. He's dying. He needs your help. Oh wait, we still have got ultimates to kill you with.
Mast is in the sky with his ultimate right now, but he didn't want to go in. He couldn't see a target he was looking for. Jeff will lead them in to the left-hand Phoenix here. There's not many minions with them right this second. Now there is, but they're showing a lot of respect here, LG. They may be just looking for a cheeky dash taunt from Jeff.
Relying entirely on that Athena initiation, and Jeff has been on point with it, usually using it on Aror, but it's worked out thus far. Like we've mentioned, it's just baiting the other members of Eager into the fight every single time.
All relics are available pretty much for both these two teams as well. Only Curse is down for another 20 seconds, so Auror's heals will make an impact as well.
Here comes Roar with a great pull. BaRRa purifies it away right away. Still looking at this left-hand Phoenix, but great disengage from LG.
Let's have a listen into LG's comms right now. They try and siege this left-hand Phoenix.
Hold down, care for Rattle.
I'm still taking.
Care for Rattle.
I'm cutting. Right. I'm backing.
Janus is mid. Janus is looking to shoot you guys through here.
Yeah.
My taunts up. You guys ready?
Hold up at 20.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah.
I'm ready.
That's immune.
I have Sylph. Nice, good damage on Sylph. Sylph can't heal.
Nice.
I'm on it.
They're going on the side. Cut out. They're on me. I'm probably just taking the rubber. I got up here. Nice. Okay. Honestly, I can turn a fault maybe if they shoot.
Yep.
Yeah, we're fine.
Alright.
Get red.
Yeah, they Janus ult.
I can turn a fault. Do you think you want to fight him here? Do you want to fight him here or no?
I think you can.
Okay.
You see anything?
DJ's pushing up.
Exciting game there between these two teams. The comms are very, very fast-paced here, Aggro.
You heard Jeff say, here's Janus, pinged him on the map. He's going to try and snipe you. What happens to Xeno? Crushed by Through Space and Time. Soul Reaver did 95% of his health. Divios comes crashing in with the Mystic Rush, getting that last hit. Unfortunate there for Xeno, both relics available. Not a whole lot he can do, but you know, Jeff said, he's going to try and snipe you. I'm looking for the taunt. Now Matt's
playing mid lane, going to go straight in. Doesn't find anyone with that. Divios will just walk away with the overhead kick, but maybe Divios is a bit in trouble here. Very tanky on the front side there. Got support from his team, and actually it's Scary D who took more poke, but so did TheBest.
No ultimates used except for Masked there, so overall a win for Eager.
Wait, it's a win for Eager. They're against a Fire Giant team here, Aggro.
That's true.
They find a pick, and they hold their Phoenixes. Win.
Huge win, and that Fire Giant's going to be falling off in the next 10 seconds for Luminosity, so all they get out of that is a tier 1 tower on the right, and a tier 2 tower, and a tier 1 tower on the left.
Is it better to try and split push against this team when you got Fire Giant here? Because fighting them in a straight up 5v5 fight under a Phoenix is kind of difficult, right?
No, because your only tower push is Soul. You need to be grouped up with that Soul, and she's got to be the one to shred those structures for you, and if you leave her exposed, it's going to be all of Eager going in on her.
Oh, Mask going to catch a lazy back out of Aror and Zapman, but I don't think he saw Zapman there too. So now he's going to force the ult out of JeffHindla to give him some more protections.
That's another wasted ult by LG, 2 in a row. Mass ultimate's coming up in the next 15 seconds, but JeffHindla doesn't have nearly as much CDR on his side.
Well, into the jungle goes the team. The taunt hits, and the burst on Divios is so much he's out of the fight already. Scary to the backline, looking for a stun. Not going to find it because the second one didn't connect, so Divios will escape.
Just barely. Now Mass has that ultimate available. He's going up into the sky, looking for Divios or Zap. Gonna find Zapman, forces out the Sanctuary.
And now DJ is up in the sky too, down on 2 under the tower, and the boy Mass is running for the snipes away. Can he get away? He will for now. Everybody still stands.
But all of this favors Eager. They still have the sustain from Aror, whereas LG doesn't.
Space and Time, Best connected, but it was only on BaRRa, and now Best the one that's going to run away because Xeno was there. Good route from Aror. Meanwhile, on the backside of this, Divios will to punish him, but the portal closes. Access denied. Divios, you shall be missed.
Feels bad. Going for that portal, goes at just the wrong time. Divios is extending his hand, reaching out,
team,
and he falls off the face of the cliff. Nowhere for him to go. That's a big pick now. 50 seconds without the tanky solo laner.
And now with that as well, we'll see what happens here. Will LG look to pressure this and look for the Fire Giant with this man advantage? Or will they look to try and bait them in for picks?
They can really do either one, but going just for the picks by trying to poke them out isn't going to be as effective because of that sustain from Aror. Still, no brawlers on the side of Mass. No Divine Ruin
for
Xenotronics. One curse, and that's the only good thing is that there's no sprint on the side of Eager.
Well, the call from Eager here is clearly give up the Fire Giant, take the Gold Fury. It's a 4v5. It's not worth investing into it. It's a very volatile state of the game here, and they defended the Phoenix before, Aggro. Can they do it again?
Exactly. If you are able to defend that well up against a fully slotted Fire Giant team, you may as well try your luck and go for 2
Round
for 2 here.
Round 2. Let's take it on. 0-1. Eager have the 1-game lead over Luminosity. Luminosity need to make sure they find this win, otherwise Eager go through. The pull from Aror is good. BaRRa takes a lot of free poke, but Mass is in the sky.
Trying to peel for his teammate. Everyone disengages on the side of LG. Now they have some sort of sustain with that Fire Giant buff, giving them extra health and as well as extra damage and extra tower damage as well.
But Mass did use his ultimate there, and it seems the boys just want to fall back all of a sudden here. What's the reason for the callback to base?
I don't know.
Golden hand, maybe?
Could have some golden hand, but everyone's basically full slick slotted. I guess because Mass's Purification was still down for 30 seconds. BaRRa did have his relics, but Jeff didn't have the shell or the weakening curse.
I'm kind of looking at Xenotronics here. I mean, he's not 6 items yet. That's a big thing for me right now. Just got Ratatoskr online, still 1 item left. When you look at TheBest, for example, I believe that could be the Spear of Desolation coming out here.
It may as well be. I mean, he's been on point with these snipes. You saw how much damage it can do to hit 2 Xenotronics in that last Phoenix Siege on the left-hand side. If he's able to finish the Spear of Desolation before the next fight, it's going to be a one-shot capability from through Space and Time.
Well, instead, LG are going to head straight to the left-hand side once more here. They're going to have time for at least 1 more engagement before the Fire Giant buff falls off again, but it's at that Phoenix, and Every single time we see them go there, Eager have defended.
They've got plenty of time. They've got over 2 minutes left on this Fire Giant, so they didn't lose too much by backing up off that push on the right-hand side.
Let's listen in once again to LG's comms as they look to siege Phoenix a second time.
Has Magi's, by the way, so be really careful for that. It's gonna be, I can't really taunt them too well. Who's in mid? Who's in mid?
Rom rat.
Okay.
Nice.
Rom rat or mid?
Rom rat. This is full.
Yep.
Guys, Magi's.
Nice, good job.
Nice.
Rom rat's still Rom rat.
I wanted Robin. He still has green.
I zone rat.
Portal down, that's portal down.
Rom's not
I
there.
need help.
You're fine. You're fine. Rom's not there.
I'm just gonna heal up. Can we,
I'm just got it. We're shielding. Wait fire for 2 minutes.
Yep.
I'm already
Nice!
Nice!
I'm in the air. Almost dead. Almost dead.
Careful.
How about scary, guys? How about scary?
I'm dead.
Rob's in the air.
Rob in
Careful,
the air.
careful.
We have to get up.
Yep, just try
We
it
got
out,
Phoenix.
That's fine.
Okay, we got that.
That's Rattle.
That's Rattle.
Line up.
That's Rattle. I pulled the back. Care for Janus. Janus on the side.
I'm out.
Fighting out.
We have to get up.
Can we run?
Yeah,
We out?
They're chasing.
That's fine, Janus.
I
Off
have
with it.
slow.
I got one more.
Alright, just keep running. You got that wall?
Luminosity running for their lives now as Eager lost their Phoenix, but they're winning this fight. BaRRa versus Zapman. Zap forced out of it, but he will pick up Mass, and now BaRRaCCuDDa is being focused on by Divios, but he'll trade out with Divios as well. And one falls down for Eager. The Phoenix does fall, but Eager, well, it's not all doom and gloom.
It was just such a back and forth fight there. You see LG, BaRRaCCuDDa make such an awesome play, immuning the pull from Aror, using the very brief moment of CC immunity on his ultimate.
The investment into Aror, though, that's what I'm seeing here. We see a lot of investment by LG looking to take out Aror, and every time they do that, they do lose lives.
Well, BaRRa's was fine. It was Scary D going too deep, and then the ultimate for what I think Jeff was trying to ult Scary D, but it hit Xeno instead. Doesn't get that extra damage reduction, doesn't get that extra burst of damage onto Aror, which could have finished him off. And then djpernicus, a 4-man knockup on the retreat. Absolutely massive. Hasn't had the same impact that we've seen from him so far this land, sitting 4th on his team in player damage, but right there, that was a huge play from Ratatoskr.
I just want you all at home to note how many times Aror has actually died this game.
That's a big old donut.
It is indeed, Aggro. It's a big old donut, and that means that all this investment LG have made has forced the boys of Eager back, maybe. They may have found picks off it, but they've not found the man they've been focusing on.
Man, if only there were some items that could stop the amount of healing that Aurora is doing.
But is it the healing? Let's go to the healing graphs and see if Aggro's point is still well made. 11k in terms of healing right now. Highest damage in the game. Well, he's doing decently.
If you can make Xenotronics do 5,000 effective damage to your team, that's how I always think of healing is how much can you subtract it from someone's damage overall. Usually it's someone's poke damage, so you can take some away from Mass, some away from BaRRa, some away from Xeno, but at the end of the day, that's over 11,000 damage that he's taken off the board.
Well, you've seen the respawn times already here between the two teams as well, and it's just going to get longer. We're approaching 39 minutes in the game now. The Fire Giant is up for the 3rd time. This time, though, Eager may look to defend. They have a full roster. They have all their relics available as well, and Luminosity have to respect that.
Best has ultimate available as well. Look at him just waiting in the wings, but Jeff smells him out. Gonna go in there and
Mass goes in on Best too. The portal used by him, but now Mass is in trouble. The burst damage is too good. Let's go into Eager's comms now with the 1-man lead.
We can do fire now. Yeah,
you need to heal. Worry about hog. I have hog.
You have a heal?
I'm just scaring them.
Don't group up with me, Best. Don't group up.
Don't do it. Just we want to make a fight.
Yeah, I know.
I'm behind them. They don't even know it. Agni.
We can even go
out.
out.
Agni.
Who are we on, guys?
Agni's one hit. Look at Amma. Amma. It's gotta be Amma. I'm ulting up, yeah. Sure. Shelling.
I'm going through the portal.
Going through the portal too. Rooted him. Nice. Agni bomb?
Nice.
Fuck. Look at Agni. Agni dash?
He's killing all of us.
It's alright. We're good.
Yo, go back.
Yeah, we're back.
You still have a little bit of time. That wave just went in.
Well, he may not have anti-healing, but what he just did, Xenotronics, there, was manage to hold the defense. The Fire Giant stands. The fight was not going in LG's favor, but Xenotronics, with that play where he was pretty much in a bad spot, just managed to turn this game again.
All of your past transgressions are forgiven if you can make a big play to save the game. That's exactly what Xenotronics did there.
Aror's gonna die!
You heard the frustration coming out from Zapman as well. He is gonna die, right?
I don't know.
Hey, wasn't that thought, Aror?
Finally.
We did it, team! We got him!
40 minutes to bring it down. You can even hear F-Dog totally screaming in the background about how excited they were about that.
We chopped down
finally.
the tree!
But the game, let's go to the graphs. Gold is irrelevant. Experience, well, it's only relevant for JeffHindla.
That's about it. He's the only one sitting at level 19. Now the Fire Giant opened up for LG. What looked like a horrible fight for them after Mask got picked up early. Xeno made a huge play.
Divios has Wrath. This is a chance. This is one window. He could look for a steal if he keeps them busy and just buy his team time. The best is up in 7 seconds too. Remember, space and time will delete someone at this stage as well, especially if it's a squishy.
Mantle of Discord gonna stun away Mass, teleports in, but Divios did his job.
Perfect.
No Fire Giant for Luminosity. That's all he had to do.
Back at it again. DJ doing his speed buff though, and the Fire Giant is starting to be whittled down as well. Divios on his way back with a teleport by the looks of it as well. Space and time was not in the right area, but DJ goes to the sky. In comes Divios. The Fire Giant still stands. The snipes come out. LG get the Fire Giant, and LG are now looking for a fight.
DJ's gonna be the first to fall. Mask goes in on Zapman, but it's gonna be Divios. The second kill. BaRRaCCuDDa picks that one up. 2 dead on the side of Eager. 5 alive for Luminosity, and they all have Fire Giant.
And now they're going to push down mid lane as well. The left-hand Phoenix is weakened. They could go for that one if they want, but it looks like they're heading for the mid lane. It's Zapman, it's Best, and it's Aror versus the whole squad of LG.
And neither Best nor Zap have the ultimate here. It's going to be very tough to defend against all of these very powerful late-game gods for LG.
No pull from Aror there, but no mistakes from LG either. Take the second Phoenix as well. They may even look for the third one here. I don't think they want to make a mistake here, Aggro. They've got plenty of time to look at this.
No, they're going
Still
for it.
dead for another 20 seconds plus.
They're going for it, and I like this call. You've got a minion wave. It's time to go in. JeffHindla gets the taunt. The Titan is the focus, and it's falling fast.
The Titan's fallen in Luminosity. It's taken 4 games against Eager, but in that 4th game, they finally, they found the one win they needed.
Luminosity looking like the top card in North America, like they were projected to be. Eager drops their first game to Luminosity on the day, and ALG is still sitting here saying, we've got a chance.
Comes to the Fire Giant fight though, overall there, you saw that this was the first one that Eager really contested. Obviously the Wrath was available for Divios, the play was there, Zap was with the snipes, you had Divios going in looking for the Wrath, and in the end, I believe it must have been Scary D who came up big with that Wrath.
I mean, as you get later into the game, Wrath gets less and less valuable because it's always going to do the same amount of damage, and as BaRRaCCuDDa dropping his ultimate, the Stellar Burst, that's way more burst than a Wrath can give you, and Best using that ultimate to try and get his team to the Fire Giant probably should have been used to try and make a play. If he's able to snipe someone out for Luminosity, erase them in the blink of an eye, that's an easy teamfight win for Eager. Instead, he uses it for the mobility option, and Eager ends up losing the Fire Giant.
Well, realistically, everyone had their money on Eager there, especially after that first game, on making sure they'd qualify for the Super Regionals. But you know what? It's all still to play for tomorrow. After, talk us through that last game.
Well, you know, taking a look at that one, Anatoly, hey man, thank you for the toss. But taking a look at that one, honestly, in game number 1, I drew attention to the fact that Zapman really didn't have an impact at all until the last team fight possible. Despite his slash line not being 0x and 0, Xenotronics really seemed to be a non-factor in that game until it absolutely mattered. Double kill down the middle, down goes the Fire Giant, and then even after that, another kill to bring them towards the end.
It was just so important for them in the late game to get Agni into the late game form, because we saw just how powerful Best was in the earlier stages.
Yeah, I thought it was incredibly impactful by Xeno for the fact that he finally started connecting with his Agni abilities. Before, we've seen him pull out this pick, you know, and it's something that we've just been waiting for because Xeno has always been said this is a comfort pick from him, according to other teams. Everybody says Xenotronics Agni. That is definitely his most comfortable pick, and it finally came to show. here in this last game against Eager, he just completely dominated at the end points of the game, like you said, when it really mattered.
Exactly. I mean, I think the key word there is finally. For a while, people were talking about this Agni pick being a standard or a comfort pick, and I thought they were confusing him with Zlantris, the old guy back in the day. I said, dude, just because his name begins with X doesn't mean he's good at Agni, but finally we actually get to see it. And like you said, I think the problem there was, or during the early and mid-game, he just didn't have the burst. You know, this isn't a Scylla, this isn't a big bang god. His ultimate is spread out a little bit, and then finally you get to the end game and he's able to make that impact, quite literally just impacting players into the ground.
And Eager had their opportunities to really shut down the game. They had a 6,000 goal lead at one point, slowly dwindling away. LG had a nice little pickoff. They got the goal here. They now cut the lead to 4,000 gold. And then there was a situation where Divios just went a little too ham around the Fire Giant situation, which then exposed the Tier 1, Tier 2 mid tower for Eager. Luminosity was able to capitalize that, pick off Zap as well, and they were the ones that got the Fire Giant.
Yeah, I think what was also a pretty interesting thing to point out is when that unfortunate incident happened and Divios was picked there, you could actually hear him say in comms, I saw Best ult and I thought that we were going in. So there was definitely a little bit of miscommunication coming between Team Eager in that engagement, and unfortunately it led to Divios dying, and that was also a pretty big turnaround, I think, for LG to get a footing.
And I think one of the largest things, one of the success that we saw out of Team Eager earlier on, all came down to how they played as a team, right? I mean, all these guys, the only time we ever saw them isolate themselves was when DJ would go and split push, but even then, the idea was group up as 4 and push, and they really utilized every single ability. The difference in game number 2 for me was the fact that individuals tried to play hero ball. You saw DJ go really deep and really hard. You saw Zapman do the same thing. Even djpernicus tried to get that going. And when Eager starts to splinter off and become individual members instead of playing as the team, that's when they run into issues. This is Voltron. This is the Thundercats. This is Megazord. Y'all gotta stay together. And that's where Eager survives. When they start splintering off, they run into issues.
And right now, it's going to leave Eager now at 8 points to close off the end of day 2. Luminosity is at 7, Allegiance at 5. Noble finally finding the first point, so just going to be a lot of action for day number 3.
As far as that's concerned, though, Eager, they do a fantastic job, but they actually don't wind up with the win. It's split down the middle, and in all honesty, we've spoken a lot about the members on LG, specifically Zapman, or excuse me, BaRRaCCuDDa and JeffHindla, but if you ask me, for my money, a lot of it's come out of the jungle. Mask, he's standing by with Adonis, and he's going to talk us through it.
Rookie of the first 2 days for me. I'm here with Mass, jungler for Luminosity. You lost to Eager day 1, 2-0, opening set to Group B. You managed to get back at them this time. What was different this time around in your second match against them?
Basically, like, first game, we came in, we didn't really expect the cheese. It wasn't like cheesy, it was just a strat, and we didn't expect it. We just ran regular comps, and we didn't play around it. We didn't adapt fast enough to it. But coming into this game, we were like really upset that we lost, and then we went in with a new attitude, like we're gonna, you know, all the nerves were off at that point. So.
Yeah, I would have to say, I think you guys had a lot of shakiness day 1. Seems to, for the most part, to have dissipated. What's the difference between day 1 and day 2? Your team as a whole, did you guys just sit down and have a talk and kind of shake off all the issues you had in day 1?
I mean, we just hate losing. So after we lost to Eager 2-0, we were just like, okay, we gotta win now.
Yeah.
If we're losing, what's the point?
Well, we got some highlight plays for you here on this Thor. Now, you guys brought out a Thor that we haven't really seen that much this tournament. What was kind of the reasoning around this in game 2?
Just high CC. We wanted it with the Athena. Get their beads, taunt them, put pressure on them, basically. I wanted to be able to go on Zap as much as possible, go on Best as much as possible. I wanted not to give them room to breathe, because the first set we went against them, I kind of just gave Zap room to breathe, and he won the game for his team. Actually, the first set, the game of this set, I think we actually punished Zap really well, but we just kind of lost.
Messed up a little bit in the end.
Lanes, yeah.
What was it like kind of in this set? Because this was, I think Homie F.A. on Twitter, the jungler for Soar, said that was one of the best games he watched game 1. What's it like? Because game 2 was very similar, just that back and forth. How do you keep your head in those games?
I mean, we're not really the best early game team. We do win early games a lot. But we went in that game and we're just like, okay, you know, we're going to lose early game probably because they're going to probably hog our buffs. So let's get hog on Scary. And then, you know, it's so insane because our late game team fights are insane. We'll be 10k behind and we'll still win a team fight.
Well, you got one more day tomorrow. What are your expectations? Obviously, you and Eager just an hair above ALG after they lost to Noble. What are your expectations for the final day of play?
I'm pretty sure us and Eager are going to make it. Though I want ALG to make it, and I like the guys on ALG a lot. We have to go against Noble, which I mean they can still take games.
Hey, you almost
low-
lost to him.
low
They
likelihood.
threw. They
We got
gave you a
BaRRaCCuDDa. We
handout
got BaRRaCCuDDa
yesterday.
though.
Yeah,
All right,
okay, you
we'll
got
be fine.
BaRRaCCuDDa. It's okay. He's gonna put you all in the backpack. Any shout-outs before we end this day, though?
Shout out to the sponsors, shout out to LG, and shout out to Adonis.
Oh, thank you, Mass.
Yep.
I don't get shout-outs enough. No.
you don't.
Thank you guys for all watching. Again, before we go, I got to remind you, Face It, sign up now. You get to play with some of the best players in the world like this guy. And I know I've seen you on Face
I
It.
play.
Make sure to check it out. Sign up today. You can test your skill, win prizes. www.com, faceit.com. You're going to be able to figure that one out. I kind of said that awkwardly, but we got it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love having you watch this show. It's been an amazing day 2 of Group B. We still got one more day to play. Don't forget, 1 p.m. Eastern starting tomorrow, live here on hi-rez TV.
I can't love you.